What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Brawl Project. My name is Sunnyvale, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Brawl deck built around KROXA, Titan of Death's Hunger. And for those of you wondering, yes, this is partly inspired by the deck that I played against in one of my earlier videos this week. Alright, KROXA, Titan of Death's Hunger. This is an interesting card. It costs 2, is a 6/6, and you think that's pretty good, but when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Whenever KROXA enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. Escape, black, black, red, red, exile 5 other cards for your graveyard. So this is the mirrored image of Uro, and I posted an Uro video right about toward the beginning of the format. This one causes your opponent to discard cards and hits them, although that's less relevant. You play it on turn 2 and cause them to discard, and then you wait a while, you play a bunch of other spells and fill up your graveyard, and then eventually you'll play it exiling 5 cards from your graveyard, and then it'll stay in play as a 6/6 that causes the opponent to discard a card each turn that you get to attack with KROXA. Or each turn you get to play it. Alright, so let's talk about the strategy of this deck. If we have a commander that is big and it causes our opponent to discard cards, a lot of the times when you have that going on, what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to pick up the pieces, clean up whatever your opponent is able to play before their hand gets torn apart and have to start top decking. So we're going to play a ton of removal. So we've got Lava Coil, Liliana's Triumph, Angrath's Rampage, Price of Fame, Drag to the Underworld, 2 Sweepers, and Ritual of Soot, and Storm's Wrath, which is one that I've been pretty impressed by. This seems to do a lot of work in Brawl. I don't know if it's good enough for Standard, but in Brawl it cleans up a lot of stuff. And then we have the big Planeswalkers and Chandra and Liliana, Massacre Girl. This is just really heavy on the black removal for the most part. We've got a little bit of red removal also in Bone Crusher, Giant Shock, and Lava Coil, but most of our deck is centered around dealing with what our opponent can resolve. We've also got some cards that work really well with KROXA. For example, Nightmare Shepherd. There's a really cool thing you can do where you play Nightmare Shepherd, or if you have Nightmare Shepherd in play, and then you play KROXA from the command zone. So you have to sacrifice it. You have it go to the graveyard, but then you exile it, and then it goes back to the command zone, and you get 2 KROXA triggers, so your opponent has to discard twice. Another one that works well with KROXA is Midnight Reaper. You play Midnight Reaper, then you play KROXA, and you sacrifice it. Goes to the graveyard, you get to draw a card while your opponent discards a card. We've got a few more ways of targeting our opponent's hand. I think that these are just mostly must-includes in a lot of black decks in Duress and Agonizing Remorse. We also have Davriel. Our opponent is going to be pretty low on cards a lot of the time, so we're going to take advantage of that. And the other card that capitalizes on the discard is Command the Dreadhorde. This is another one that, if you're just playing a lot of discard, you generally want this card because it can bring something expensive back and be a huge swing really early on. What else do we have? Well, I mean, that's mostly it. Like, the cards are either the ones that I mentioned or removal. We've got Stormfist Crusader here, which is pretty nice because if you have a KROXA in play, your opponent draws a card on your upkeep, and then you attack, and then they have to discard it if it's their only card in hand. Rankle, I think it's just so good in Brawl, just as a haste threat, that I think it's a must-include. Ox of Agonis will help fuel your graveyard, and if you don't need to escape KROXA for whatever reason, you can also escape this, although I'm not sure how often that's going to happen. Maybe I should have put like more recursion or more graveyard recursion, but for the most part we just have Command the Dreadhorde and KROXA eating up cards from our graveyard. Yeah, and the last inclusion is Shadow Spear. I've noticed that in this deck that we run low on life total and we don't have any way of really gaining that life back. I don't think we have any life linkers aside from Murderous Rider, and that's not the main usage of this card anyway, and we have a lot of things that deal damage to us, so Shadow Spear is here to recoup that life loss. If you put a Shadow Spear on KROXA and get to attack, you're gaining 10 life a turn, so that's pretty good. The mana base is pretty simple. I mean, we've just got a very heavy, black heavy mana base. I actually wanted to take out one, so let me do this. I was going to take out one swamp and put in one mountain. I was noticing a little too heavy on the black side. Alright, excuse me. All the dual lands that we can play, and then a bunch of lands that we can sacrifice. Evolving Wilds I generally wouldn't recommend in a two color deck, but it helps fuel the graveyard for Kroxa. Cryptic Caves, I really have a love-hate relationship with Cryptic Caves. I'm not sure it makes the cut. And Lotus Field, which we wouldn't normally play in a two-color deck again, except it does help fuel the graveyard. And then we've got Mobilized District, Labyrinth, Field of Ruin. The typical utility lands that I play. Alright, well, let's take it for a spin, shall we? I've been enjoying the coronavirus isolation quarantine so far, getting to make videos, Brawl videos every day. If you want to stay up to date on those, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Sunnyvale. Alright, let's get started. Alright, we're going first. We get to lead with a Duress. Alright, I'll keep this. Duress into KROXA. And we got Bone Crusher Giant that we can hopefully clean something up. Alright, we got Drag to the Underworld and Heraldic Banner. I think I'll keep the Heraldic Banner, because our creatures, I don't know, we don't really need to stick things most of the time with this deck. Alright, Pilfering Imp. Let's just get rid of that. Not let them keep stuff around for Ayara. Gutter Bones. Alright. Oh, I think I'm just playing Bone Crusher Giant here. I could play KROXA, but it seems pretty unspectacular. It doesn't really add to the board. They just discard their worst card, which is probably Drag to the Underworld. It doesn't have a mana exchange, which is something I want to be doing on the early turns. As you can see, we're missing double red. That is, we have a bunch of cards with double red. I think I'm actually going to put this in the command zone, because I don't have anything I can really do on the next turn. So I'll probably just be playing this again, and then we can hopefully, by that point, draw a red source in Storm's Wrath. This is a 4/4, dies to Storm's Wrath. Why don't you go ahead and discard that last card. Then we have to answer what's on the board. I mean, if we just draw a red source, we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, I'll go to the graveyard this time. Even if we don't draw a red source, if we draw land, we might be fine by playing Command the Dreadhorde. We're going to take a fair amount here, though. Ooh, Rankle. That is a good card for them to draw. Yeah, so I definitely want to draw a red source. I would prefer that. I will discard Ox. Our opponent doesn't have a card to discard. Alright, well... Okay. Total converted mana cost. So, getting KROXA is pretty cheap. That's good. I think I need to take Nightmare Shepherd and Pilfering Imp, too. So, Nightmare Shepherd, Pilfering Imp. I don't think I need this Woe Strider, and I'll take KROXA. So that's 2 plus 4 plus 1. So that's 7, will be down to 4. Well, that's about as good as we're getting, right? Oh shoot, this doesn't block. All according to plan. Oh wait, hold on. No, if I do that then, okay. Drop down to 1? No, I'm just dead to Ayara. Alright, I should have gotten KROXA. I thought that, like, oh, it's coming from the graveyard, it'll be fine. But no. Alright, good game. Alright, against Nicol Bolas, this hand does not have any red. Our last hand was definitely hampered by the fact that we just never drew red, double red. Something I might want to keep in mind, just in case there's something I need to shock. I guess I'll play the command tower. This Castle Lochwain will come into play untapped after I play the swamp. Could lead with KROXA here, but I'm just going to get this Arcane Signet down. Oh! Huh. Well, that's interesting. Alright, I'll go ahead and play it. I imagine this is just dying, but I think that we want to both draw cards. I don't know, they're playing a control deck. But I have a lot of discard. Not sure how that balances out. Alright, let's tap these two. And the Signet. They're debating countering it, and honestly, it's probably worth countering a Signet. Ooh, they're going to counter it. 3 mana Stone Rain. Alright, so what do we got on our next turn? Kefnet? Sure. Probably want to kill that. This has Menace, right? So I can just attack through it either way. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be bedeviling that. Oh, right, I forgot. I get to draw 2. Just make the mana exchange, the resource exchange. Bring it back, huh? Okay. I guess that makes sense if you're, like, flooded out or something. So we're probably going to see... Oh, shoot. Huh. Okay, if they had played Nicol Bolas, I think I actually would have been in a fair amount of trouble. Oh, we're actually missing double red. That's awkward. Okay, this is an awkward Elspeth's Nightmare, I gotta say. Play Doom Whisperer. Yeah, Doom Whisperer is probably just dying to Nicol Bolas, unfortunately. But we'll be able to find a red source, which is, well... Alright, let's do this at least once. Midnight Reaper? Okay. And red source underneath it? If I play Midnight Reaper and then play KROXA, that's pretty good. Alright, I'll just keep both on top. My hand is not great. I guess they figure that that card is slightly more relevant than the other one. Looks like my opponent missed a land drop there. Alright, no counterspell. Yeah, I don't know why I kept that mountain on top. Alright, let's do this. Let's put it on full control so we can shuffle before we draw this mountain. Oh, discarding Agent of Treachery. I guess they're stuck on mana, huh? I guess I'm actually supposed to wait for the Midnight Reaper to trigger. Alright, let's go into the graveyard. We've got plenty of cards there. And plus that'll let us draw the card. So we have 6 mana next turn? Oh, just exiling our graveyard. Oh, that's brutal. So let's go to the command zone here. We can't get through this zombie. 34 cards? Okay. This actually would kill Ashiok. But we can... Playing KROXA is like pretty good here. We get to draw a card. Well, let's make sure that we tap everything correctly. My opponent can play Nicol Bolas at any moment. I'm surprised that they're not.
Dealing with you would be equal. Let me pick your brain for a minute.
Alright, they got rid of Ritual Sit. Okay. So let's go to the graveyard. Draw a card from Midnight Reaper. Alright, alright. So, they can get rid of all of our stuff if they play Nicol Bolas, kill Midnight Reaper, and attack Davriel, but then we play Storm's Wrath, which is, okay, well that works as well, I suppose. We get to draw a card off of it, at the very least. So we're going to attack down, Yeah, we might be in some trouble here. 27 cards left. I don't know, with just one Ashiok, it might be difficult to kill us, but I'm definitely feeling the pressure. Okay. I kind of just want to fire up the Mobilized District and go after the rest of Ashiok. That, or I could play KROXA and get rid of Kefnet, but then they're free to plus Nicol Bolas. I guess they're not really that free to do it because I've got Storm's Wrath to sweep things up. That doesn't sound too bad to me. Making them discard just one card just seems so bad, though. I really don't have much of a better play. I mean, I guess I could just play Storm's Wrath now. Sweep these two up, then they play this. I've got Ingress Rampage, but that doesn't really do much. Okay, I think I'm just going to play KROXA. I am slightly embarrassed by how lackluster this play is, but so be it, I guess. Our opponent's going to exile our graveyard again. This is fine. We'll sacrifice the, we have Field of Ruin, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll just get rid of this Cryptic Caves. We're gonna need everything else we have. We're gonna shock the Nicol Bolas at the end of the turn, and then Storm's Wrath. Hopefully our opponent's last card is not the most relevant. They're holding back to protect. Makes sense. Ooh, there we go. That's an exciting one. Allure of the Unknown. Alright, go get a red source from my deck if I can get one. Shut off their card draw. They're going to be able to replay Nicol Bolas, but I'm going to be able to Ingress Rampage it. I guess playing the land doesn't make a ton of sense because I'm going to have to get rid of a land here. This is fine. I think I can just get rid of this Labyrinth. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana.
No weakness I cannot exploit.
Yeah, let's just do this. Oh, I guess they get to play the card without paying its cost, huh? Okay, I definitely misread that card. Holy cow. Wow, that's pretty bad, even by my standards. Alright, sacrifice a Planeswalker. So they're probably going to just sacrifice Chandra, I would imagine. Oh, they're sacrificing Nicol Bolas, because they can play him next turn. Alright, well, this is an oopsie. Okay, so I thought they just got to play it as long as it was exiled, not they just get to play it immediately. Alright, we just need to find that Shadow Spear. And a way to deal with Planeswalkers, apparently. Alright, well, let's fire up the KROXA engine, shall we? I think I want to hit Nikki B. Nikki B is basically just Chandra Plus, right?
Mere scratches.
Alright, hopefully they just, like, play some sort of expensive creature that doesn't matter, and I get to Lilian's Triumphant. That is incredibly optimistic, I must say. Do they have a shock? Wow, they have a shock to combine with. Alright, well, let's go into the command zone. I've got 3 turns. Well, Shadow Spear would not be a bad draw here. Ow. Alright, well, I hope the reason that you watch my videos is not for tight play or tight deck building. Well, that's just Shadow Spear. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I fire up the Mobilized District and just equip Shadow Spear to it, I think that's a losing battle. So I think... Oh man, I needed some way to get KROXA down. I guess I could play Massacre Girl and fire up the District. That seems reasonable to me. How tied up on mana am I going to be? Probably pretty tied up. Okay, let's go to the attack. I'll just attack Nicol Bolas. Oh, my opponent gets to scry here too. This is really no bueno. This was perhaps my opportunity to gain life, but if I gained life, I feel like I was just going to set myself so far back. And they kept one on top, so I imagine this is not going to go well for me.
Let's get toasty.
You're all so generous.
Thassa. Ah, for the tap ability. Yeah. I just tap whatever I have. Shadow Spear equipped to. I don't know about that one, though. I mean, I guess I'm still dead? Well, I'm still dead, unfortunately. Man, I get to take down Nicol Bolas and gain, like, some amount of life as a, what do you call it, moral victory. But, yeah. I did it to myself, I mean. Maybe the unknown card should not be in here, but hey, if there is a deck that can play it, it's this one. So we're going to keep it in. We're going to double down on whatever the unknown card it is. I should read my cards more carefully. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Opponent goes first. We got Kranko, Tin Street Kingpin. Alright. Seems actually, like, pretty underwhelming. But, I mean, like, what am I looking for? Am I looking for hard mulling into a sweeper or something? That seems a bit much, even for me. I'm actually going to lead with the tap land here. It's really tempting to try to get down, like, Shadow Spear on turn 1, but I think I want to get the hit in the turn that I play it. Alright, I could play KROXA here, but definitely going to lead with Agonizing Remorse instead. I can potentially play KROXA after Mayhem Double, which would cause me to sacrifice something. Okay, so we're just burning. Chandra and Awakened Inferno. That's not coming down for a while. This Legion War Boss, however, is really scary. Purphoros' Invention, twice X, so 3 mana to deal 4 damage to target creature. I'm going to take the Legion War Boss because that is a threat that I'm going to have a difficult time dealing with. I guess they can just play Bone Crusher Giant. Play Mayhem Devil, then they Purphoros' Intervention, and then hit me. I mean, that's pretty much my next couple turns either way, or any way that I slice this up. Then I get to drag to the Underworld to stem the bleeding a little bit. That's the other one. It's just a really bad burn spell. Alright, well. This is one way I can not take damage. I think I kind of want to just do it. Now on the next turn I can play Drag. Oh shoot, but this castle is going to come into play untapped, or come into play tapped. It makes bodies. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Alright, down to 1 land. Back to the Stone Age. Just kidding, we're fine. Well, Ari? I can't play Castle. Otherwise, I think I'm planning on playing Drag this turn anyway. Buccaneer is kind of interesting against our deck because we're going to end up hurting ourselves with it. Alright. Can't kill that. That is a good one against a lot of the things that they're doing, though. Alright, so I'm just going to play this and pass. And we'll drag this on their turn unless they play something like more threatening somehow. The following turn we can play like Elspeth's Nightmare. Oh, okay, this is working out pretty well. Like we get to play Elspeth's Nightmare here. If we draw a blacks or if we draw an untapped land, no. Okay, it was still getting to land Elspeth's Nightmare is pretty good here. Right, I'm gonna play Shadow Spear because it does look like I'm gonna be tied up on mana for the most part. If they land Chandra on the next turn... Well, if they don't play the Chandra is going to get out of their hand. That or Perforce's Intervention. Elspeth's Nightmare is a really nice one. And then we get to play this plus Shadow Spear equip. Or we can just play Eat to Extinction. Fine. Risk Factor. We'll take 4 from that. Alright, I can't deal with Chandra. I'm going to take Chandra there. I'm going to play Mayhem Devil. I guess I just have to Liliana this turn. That's the best I can do. I can play Mayhem Devil and KROXA to make them discard something, but I think both of their cards in hand I can't really do much about. How many cards do I have in my graveyard? I have a pretty stocked graveyard. Maybe I should just try to develop KROXA. Alright. I actually can't play this. Black. Red. I actually can't play both of these. That's weird. Alright, so let's do this. Let's Triumph. So, our opponent's probably going to use Perforce's Intervention to get rid of our Mayhem Devil. Just ping him for 1. That's fine. They probably want to keep something like that around for risk factor. Yeah, I'm taking 4. Yes, take action. They can still play the Perforce's Intervention, but then they're hellbent. If they draw land, I suppose they can... Yeah, come on. I'm blocking. I guess they want to discard the Perforce's Intervention? Or maybe they're trying to catch my... No, this is sorcery. Because, like, if I equip... If their plan is to risk factor me and I get to equip and swing with Mayhem Devil, that's huge. And if they don't play it here... Yeah, I'll take 4 again. That's fine. Alright, I think we're actually, like, in a very good spot. That land makes it even better. Yeah, just going face here. Equip here. And we'll just attack. I'll hold on to the Eat to Extinction. Like, yeah, I'm probably hitting this, but I think that if they play something like Cavalier or something, I guess even if they play a Cavalier, it's not like they can discard a card. Okay, actually, I guess I should do this now. Labyrinth. Alright, opponent's had enough. I think I think we still couldn't cast... Yeah, I don't think we could cast this twice yet. Anyway, yeah, just having a life gain threat against a life steal threat, life link threat against a mono red deck was going to be pretty good. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh boy, we're against the Gitrog monster. Well, I'm really excited to see how this deck does in Standard. I've definitely seen it do a ton of work in Historic Brawl, where you have, what's it called? You have Crucible of Worlds that lets you play lands from your graveyard, which is insane with it. Alright, so, just Arcane Signet here. An interesting thing is if they get the Gitrog monster down, and I play KROXA and they discard a land, they get to just draw a card, right? Put to the graveyard from anywhere. So I think if I can just shut down the Gitrog, I'm in pretty good shape. If they play another creature here, I get to Ritual of Soot. If they don't, I'll just hang out. Just gonna develop the Tome of Legends. Alright, Agonizing Remorse. I like that one. They're going to go ahead and sacrifice. You know what's kind of cool is if you Elvish Reclaimer to sacrifice, like if you have Gitrog, obviously you get to draw a card from sacrificing a land, but if you have something like Lotus, you go get Lotus Bloom or Lotus Field, all of a sudden you get to draw 2 more cards from the lands that you have to sacrifice after that. It's pretty cool. You probably had to hit a land there or something. Lucranos. Yeah, that's big. That is big. I really don't want to give up my Bedevil killing per Lucranos because I have to hit the Gitrog monster. Yeah, this turn is fine. Like, it's not spectacular. If I go Agonizing Remorse plus KROXA, the other thing I can do is I can just play KROXA and then Bedevil at end of turn, but that only works if my opponent plays exactly the way I want them to. Holy cow. Okay, well, geez. How close are they to triple green? They have triple green. Alright, let's take Cavalier of Thorns, because I can sweep up the lands with Ritual of Soot. Let's play KROXA. I guess they have to choose what they want to discard here. Like, they don't have infinite cards in hand. Discard the... Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. So, if they play Nissa, we get to sweep up a land with Ritual of Soot, which is kind of cool. I mean... They only have, you know, 1 forest here. They don't have infinite mana. But Nissa certainly does a lot of damage, and she's going to threaten to do a lot of damage on the following turn, too. But I don't even have enough to do Devil plus Ritual, so I think I could just be dead here. Honestly, I might just be dead.
Harness the elements.
Taking 10. And they can even sacrifice this to the Ritual of Soot. Jeez. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Yeah, that's a real bummer. They can even sacrifice this in order to, man, this is not panning out well. I guess I kill Lucranos here? Ugh, so bad. Or maybe I need to kill Nissa? I guess I'll kill Nissa. It's really unfortunate that I have just 3 mana that I can't do anything with. And it's unfortunate that I need to play the Bedevil here. Like, I think that sacrificing... Or, sorry, playing Ritual of Soot into their Elvish Reclaimer activation is just really bad. think I made too many plays that did not impact the board. Field of the Dead. Alright. Blast Zone. There's Get Rog. So mine take a lot. I don't think I have a card that saves me. Elspeth's Nightmare? No, that doesn't work. That kind of mimics Ritual of Soot and what it can deal with. I guess I can play the Ox and just see what happens. Probably want to play out a land first. There's no way this is working, right? Need like a Price of Fame or something. Look. Alright, that was unfortunate. I feel like we weren't really able to play out our game plan just because the mana cost didn't line up. Alright, 0 for 3. Are we 0 for 3? We've lost, I don't remember exactly. I think we're 0 for 3? 0 for 4? No, we won the last one. Alright, we're 1 and 3. Alright, let's go on to the next one. This hand does not have enough mana in it. You know how I feel about hands like this. Let's go ahead and mulligan. This hand, yeah, it has both colors. That makes me pretty happy. Fervent Champion. Alright, we've got Shock plus other Shock with this hand also. So that's about the best defenses we're going to have against a deck that goes small, right? Which it looks like they're doing based on this Fervent Champion. Alright, hit me one more time. Yes. Let the stage. Definitely happy to see that my opponent is making a tempo negative play there. I'm just gonna pass, and we're gonna Bone Crusher Giant this. I think I just play Davriel. They don't have a target for Fry. I wonder what they're trying to hit with Fry. I mean, I guess it hits Planeswalkers, huh? But it seems a bit like niche for a deck that does turn 1 Fervent Champion, turn 2 light up the stage. You got it. So we could use another red source so that we can play both Stormfist Crusader and KROXA on the same turn. But even if we don't, that's fine. Resolves. Or you attack. Yeah, I mean, let's just do this.
The mask is scary, but underneath, this perish the thought.
I imagine that this Doom Whisperer is just going to cause them to pack it in. I can't imagine that they have too many answers to a 6/6. I'm going to use that to finish off Davriel. That's fine. Mono red is tough in Brawl. I think that if you're playing with Torbrand, you can make it work. And obviously, any red deck can play Torbrand and is probably playing Torbrand, but it's really tough to match up with someone that just plays like a really big 5-drop. I guess we don't have an answer for Torbrand. Well, let's try to find one. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna keep the Lava Coil. It's some sort of removal. Kind of worried about playing the Stormfist Crusader, but I'm not gonna not play the cards. Oh, I could have played KROXA. Well, you know what? We've all agreed that this isn't the place to come for the perfect plays, or even the good plays, or even the good deck building. Oh boy, okay. Well, I think we're gonna see Chandra, right? Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do with this Chandra? Like, you plus, Chandra's just gonna get attacked down, and you basically trade 6 mana for the emblem. If you minus, you know, use 2 cards and the first cast of your commander to get rid of Doom Whisperer. But I guess there's like no other way of dealing with Doom Whisperer, huh? Alright. Go to the grave. And start attacking. I think we've got them on a 2-turn clock, 6 this turn, and then KROXA is going to hit them for a lot on the following turn. Well, that was assuming that I was going to be able to attack, which I guess you know what they say about assuming. This does exile, so that's a plus. And we get to fire up the mobilized district. I think it's still 2 turns. This is 9. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're 2-0 against red decks and 0-3 against everything else. Let's keep going. Alright, Etrata the Silencer. I haven't been able to make this deck work, so I'm interested to see what my opponent does with it. We're gonna keep this. We got a red source here. Probably play either Bone Crusher Giant or KROXA on turn 2. I'm just gonna play KROXA with no guaranteed target here. Tail's End, countered. Got a long way to go. I think I'm just gonna put it back in the command zone. Before, like this isn't... We're just not going to be able to... Does that have hexproof? No, it just has unblockable. It just, like, am not going to be able to escape it anytime soon, so... Just gonna put it in the command zone. There's Etrata. My turn. Can combine these two to take this out, but honestly, if they hit me and they just exile whatever creature I play, which I guess is Nightmare Shepherd, I'm pretty okay with that. Oh wait, sorry, this is a 3/5. I thought it was a 2/4 for some reason, so this is not going to work against it. Portal of Sanctuary. Wait a second. If they have full control, whenever it deals damage, exile target creature that player controls. Wow, that's actually super cool. Yeah, they could have returned it to their hand. I guess that doesn't do infinite, like, they still have to cast it again and whatnot, but that is pretty cool if you, like, blink Etrata. Alright, so what do we have going on here? I could just play out a creature, like a Massacre Girl, just play a 5-mana 4/4, or I can make my opponent discard a card, and that's what I'm going to do. Put this in the graveyard. Then we've got Chandra coming down next turn. You know what? I probably should have just... Yeah, I think that was wrong. I think I'm supposed to just play... Oh, here we go. I think I was just supposed to play Massacre Girl as 4/4. It's not going to get much more value than this. Yeah, they're just going to take Chandra. That makes sense. Speaking of which... Like, I'm just going to end up doing it this turn anyway. They can play Chandra, but playing Chandra onto this board isn't terribly impressive. Augur of Bolas. I always with Augur of Bolas. I just refuse to include this in any deck nowadays. Toll of the Invasion. Alright. That's pretty good. Taking the Ox, I think, is a big deal. Well, I mean, then I can escape it at some point. Huh, Storm's Wrath. Interesting. Wonder why that's... They felt like that was the one that they needed to take. So how many cards? 3? I've still got ways to go. Well, I can actually play this and then Ox on the next turn. That seems reasonable if I draw land or especially a red source. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good too. We'll just tick up. Yeah, we'll just tick up. Definitely ticking up here.
My art. This looks like a fun new toy.
Alright, Fire Mind Vessel, great. Maybe I seem like a jerk saying the nice back. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do when people emote me.
Smelly, but effective.
This is at 8. If we get up to 9, it's probably game over. I mean, even if they played Etrata now, like, I don't think this game would be too much different if they had bounced the Etrata when they played it. But even if they play, like, a big creature here, we just Liliana minus, sacrifice these two, draw 2 cards, get rid of both their cards. And it's pretty good for us. They have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I guess they can mass manipulation the Liliana. That's not the most impressive either. 5 cards in the graveyard, 1 more until I get to play KROXA. Okay. I think I need to view... Okay, I can do this in like -3, but it's not spectacular.
Check out these fireworks.
Yeah, I was just gonna remake the, yeah, okay. I think I need to view KROXA, like, as a thing to do when I have nothing else to do. Like, extremely low priority. I think that I'm playing it out a little too aggressively. Alright, let's go on to another one. Alright, Niv Mizzet Reborn. I think this is going to be really tough. Alright, I'll keep. Because they can just, play, like, I'm trying to attack their hand. They can just play Niv Mizzet and get infinite cards off of it. I think the only way this works is if I can somehow keep them off of Niv Mizzet for a really long time for us to enact our strategy. Alright, Agonizing Remorse. Take your ramp spell. Fires? You cannot ever beat this deck when they play Fires. Fairy's, like, not actually that spectacular. Okay, I'll take Fires. They're going to get to resolve their Teferi, unfortunately. I'm going to play Davriel. Oh, the Royal Scions. I guess they can do that too. Tick up to that ult.
A quest of mystery.
Oh. We get the full 3 cards off of Davriel. Maybe that does something. Discarding land. I think no matter what the other cards are in the hand, you have to keep the lands. The worst thing that can happen is if you can't play Niv Mizzet, right?
Let us plan for the trials ahead.
Well, I say that, but like I also feel like I'm basically 0 to win this game.
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, Rankle's an interesting one.
I don't think you'll be needing that.
What is that? Noxious Grasp? Wow, okay. Alright, so definitely both discarding a card. I can attack Teferi, because like Teferi's obnoxious and just get it off the table, but it doesn't really do much. I'm gonna hit the Royal Scions. Keep it off its ultimate. Well,
Get away from me!
oh right, if I don't hit the player, we don't discard. Oops.
I'll protect you.
A quest of mystery.
Oh, they're gonna be able to play that Uro before too long. I mean, I guess they need the double green, but still it shouldn't be too hard. Alright, here's Niv Mizzet. Here is me dying. I can make my opponent discard. What does that do? It's not like the other deck where I can just mill them out. And that deck had counter magic for Niv Mizzet too. So that's not even a remotely viable comparison.
Empty your mind.
Alright, well. Sacrifice these. Graveyard, I think. Go ahead and sacrifice a creature. I think I'm just gonna take down Teferi, like just finish Teferi off. because I might not get another attack in with Rankle. Earl Scions has a lot of loyalty. Oh man. The Doom Whisperer is so bad here. It's just so easy for them to answer it. Same with Bedevil. Or, sorry, same with Liliana. Like, sure, I can make a zombie, but if they get to Bedevil it, it's not gonna amount to a whole ton. KROXA. But I really, well, no, Rankle can just hit them in minus. Kept on top.
I enjoy the proper
Hit them in sacrifice. Right, they get to play 2 lands a turn, because Uro is getting countered. Man. Brutal. I don't think I have a choice here. I think I need to do this, and I think I need to have both player sacrifice and both player discard. I guess I could have us draw 2, because I'm going to need that as well. Let's choose all 3. I'm not sure this Doom Whisperer is worth keeping. They have 7 cards in graveyard? Holy cow. Wow, this is this is the most of lopsided matchups. It's the first time that I've run into this deck all night, which is saying something because I think that Nim Mizzet is one of the most represented decks, generally speaking, in Brawl. But boy, it is not a happy time for this deck. You cannot run them out of resources. It's just not happening.
A quest of mystery.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in. Don't need to prolong this. Alright, let's play a couple more. Alright, sure enough, we're against another Niv Mizzet Reborn deck. Alright. I mean, this hand's garbage. Yeah, I think it's garbage enough to the point where I actually do want to redraw this one. Because, like, Liliana is not doing anything. Mayhem Devil is attacking a few turns, but Ox of Nagnos is not doing anything. Alright. Let's hope they play Mana Dorks and we get to shock one. I think that's the plan with this hand. Probably lead. No, there's no reason to lead with the Fabled Passage. I'm going to be able to play it untapped on turn 4. Got Murderous Rider in case they play an early Planeswalker. Opponent gets to go first. Got Fabled Passage to try to get closer to the threshold. I mean, if we can start attacking with KROXA, like, maybe we've got a shot. But it's just really hard to envision a universe where that actually happens. Stormfist Crusader is actually something. That is something. Alright, just play an Incubation Druid here. Come on. You know you want to play that Incubation Druid, or Caryatid. Oh, well, okay, fine. I'm not firing a shock off to the face. Alright, let's go Stormfist Crusader, because we're both going to be, or our opponent's going to be drawing a million cards. We might as well get in on that action. If we can. I guess it's theoretically possible that if we draw enough cards, we can outpace them. Seems difficult. Say the least. It's really like if I do have Stormfist Crusader out for several turns, then KROXA is never going to like attack. That's just not happening. Magic Lantern. Can I find answers to that? No. Alright, well, I mean, I guess I play Davriel. I think this Davriel is just like not, it doesn't matter, because they're drawing an extra card every turn. They have to discard a card every turn also, but it's not a big deal. Like, they're just going to play Niv Mizzet on the next turn. So our opponent has 5 mana. And just play, oh, Elspeth Conquers Death. So they're going to get back to Fairy. That's even better. Devil doesn't work on that. I think the thing to do is Bedevil their Chromatic Lantern. Only works if they didn't hit a land drop, which seems unlikely given everything else that's happened this game, but like, what else am I supposed to do? If they get to... Yeah, I think that's my only shot, is if I can somehow mana screw them. It's not a shot that I'm really happy about taking, let me tell you that. They are down to 17. KROXA can potentially hit them for 3 a turn. Didn't discard a non-land card. So... if they discard a land or if they don't have any cards to discard, I think is how this works. It's worded in a really weird way. Plus, if I play KROXA on this next turn, I'm basically telling my opponent, take a card from your hand, you get to reanimate whichever one you want. And that does not strike me as being a good play. So I'm not going to play KROXA. I think I want to hold up 2 of these, although it does look like my opponent is stuck. This is a good opportunity for, well, whatever. Let's play this. Right, I don't have that many lands. Boy, that was that was a big blunder. Alright. Teferi. Oh, okay. I guess doing nothing on that turn was terrible because then they just get Teferi.
Stand by and watch.
Well, you could say a lot of things are terrible. Well, I really wish I could play spells at instant speed. That would be rather cool. Elspeth's Nightmare of the Dryad. Seems like one of my best answers to it. And... let's get Teferi out of here. So, I think that playing Nib Mizzet isn't even good for our opponent because they have to discard a lot of cards. So they need to figure out a way to not die, which shouldn't be too hard. But, like, when KROXA comes down, I don't know, like, them being at 12, maybe we can pull it off. Maybe. Oh, okay, great. Can try to take them off a color, but that seems optimistic at best. Man, am I really a colored source off from playing KROXA this turn? That's a bummer. I got 5. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just play Massacre Girl. It's not really getting a lot better. It does do an interesting thing in that it has Menace, so it's going to be difficult to block. Mobilized District might be good too. I don't really love having another land in hand, but Mobilized District kind of does what we want it to, and that is threaten to sneak across damage. Like, if they play a sweeper, they have to tap out for it, and then Mobilized District does is able to hit them. Well, they're hitting their lands now, which is not good for me. I think I'm probably going to end up spending my entire turn playing KROXA.
I wonder if
Bouncing it? Okay. Well, we've got a shock to finish off Ashiok. I'll get rid of this. It's a tap land. And we have a stocked graveyard, so it's not necessary here. I'm just gonna shock and do this again. Actually, that's actually kind of a problem. I don't know, maybe I should have taken the opportunity to just play KROXA, but I mean, my opponent has plenty of cards in hand, that's for sure. And that shock, I don't think was getting any better than that. My opponent has all these cards that just trade up so well. Okay, let's tap this for red. Play it again. Lotus Field really does a lot to help make KROXA playable. Shout at this guy. They discard 2 sweepers. This is not a good sign. If I play KROXA enough times, they die, right? Apparently KROXA is a giant, as my opponent and myself are learning right now. Alright, Duress. Let's see what you got. Time Wipe. You got Meteor Golem also? Okay. I guess I should have Liliana's... If I was thinking about Liliana's Triumphing, but if I attack now, I can have the trigger resolve, and then... So I get rid of the Meteor Golem. Do I go face, or do I finish off Ugin? I think I try to finish off Ugin. Why would it not use up the colorless mana that I put in my mana pool? Oh my goodness. Okay, well. So, if they chump block, what happens? If they chump block, I'm going to eat to extinction this Ugin. I'm going to respond to this trigger by exiling Ugin. Tome of Legends? Yeah, that seems good. Keep it on top. Draw a couple cards, perhaps. So if they just play one creature, we get to Liliana's Triumph to clear the way and try to win. Of course, they could hit a removal spell with this. Did they just whiff? Is that possible? Oh my goodness. How is that? Wow. Okay. Well, that was not what I was expecting. Alright! Look at us! We defeated the Niv Mizzet deck that I never thought we could beat. Alright, well this deck was a lot of fun. The first thing I'd do if I was to tune this deck is probably take out the Unknown card. Enter the Unknown? What is it called? Enter the Unknown doesn't sound like Red or Black. Allure of the Unknown, there we go. I would probably take this card out from this deck. What else did we have? I don't know, some of the cards just seemed kind of underpowered. Like, Davriel just wasn't that good. People just have such good ways of drawing cards. But there's definitely something to this deck. Like, it felt fun to play. Getting to play, like, a red-black control deck that doesn't rely on countering so many spells and instead just tries to remove a lot of stuff and then try to resolve KROXA. Maybe I would keep something that gives KROXA haste, like a Crashing Drawbridge, although I think that card's not spectacular in this deck. Or, like, the Glass Slippers. Crashing Drawbridge is probably better than the Slippers, though. Anyway, so some way of giving KROXA haste seems like it would be pretty sweet. But yeah, this deck was fun to play. I wish I had more opportunities to get some of the cool interactions in here, but yeah, I'll definitely be playing this deck more. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. You can catch me at Twitter at twitter.com/Sunnyvale, and be sure to join the Brawl Project Discord, where we spend some time talking about Brawl, and I post all my stuff there, so it's a good way to keep up to date. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I still need to figure out what my plan is for then, but be on the lookout for it, because like I mentioned earlier, during this quarantine phase that we're all in, I'm trying to make a video every day, at least for a week, and then I'll reevaluate there. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. Have a good one.